Quite a few people, you think about Free Solo and a few others, documentaries have actually become kind of part of like pop culture and common culture now. So I'm no longer the weird documentary obsessed kid. I get to fit in with everyone else. I feel like the world has changed.
I know.
Right? I think maybe two or 3 years ago, it was like everyone was biting their nails to figure out what was going to happen with carriers when they went public. And now, in a weird way, we kind of know. Mm-hmm. And so you have the answer of this question that we've all been guessing about for 8-10 years. And now you're like, okay, what do I do with this? And so I've seen some people say, look, I'm not going to do any stuff with carriers. I'm just going to go for infrastructure. I've seen other folks say, actually, I know exactly what that carrier did wrong. I can fix it. Our gross margin is going to be better. Our loss ratios are going to be better. But what I'm really excited about is the general maturity of the space. Mm-hmm. I think you have to have the first handful of high growth, raise too much money companies. You have to get them out of the way before you start working on kind of second and third order problems. In financial services, you can tackle one of two or both problems. The first is the distribution of that financial problem, and the second is the product itself. And I think we've largely found in categories where the only thing that's being disrupted is the distribution, it ends up being a rather capital intensive and brand oriented customer journey. You're totally right. One of the best analogies or like arguments I've heard is that healthcare is a retail experience that tries desperately hard not to be retail. We're kind of quick and easy. We're a 9-year-old venture capital fund. We managed about $260 million across 4 funds, investing in the places that we're obsessed with. For us, that's 3 categories. It's retail, financial services, and insurance. And our thought process is people operate their lives pretending that each of these 3 things are a siloed category of life, whereas most things that where you spend money are retail transactions that should be insured in some way, or fundamentally you need security in your life. And so we have invested in about 100 companies over the past 9 years. I would say probably with a 65% bend towards technology and infrastructure, and maybe a 35-ish% bend towards full stack kind of financial services across insurance and financial services. Again, delineating just for folks who are listening and desperately trying to follow you and my like crazy rant here, right? There's the insurance of the crypto asset, and totally separately,
yes,
there is the leverage of blockchain technology to make insurance as an industry more efficient. I look at it and it seems to rhyme, if you will, with the first generation of fintech IPOs, lending IPOs, On Deck, Lending Club. And these are effectively distribution-oriented businesses that didn't focus either on unit economics or defaults in lending. Same thing here as being unit economics and loss ratios. And I think what we found is public markets are willing to forgive if your growth continues to be astronomical and your losses tend to be moderate. Where they're willing to turn a blind eye to fundamental unit economics if the growth doesn't slow down at all. You probably get like 2 or 3 quarters of grace before they say, hey, you're not growing like a technology company anymore, and your unit economics certainly don't look like a technology company, but a little bit. And then when I look at you compared to other carriers, your loss ratio is actually as high. What am I doing?
Who should reach out to you?
Anyone that loves insurance. So founders, operators, other investors, people who, I think the folks I enjoy working with are folks who are optimistic about the role of insurance in people's lives, but pessimistic about the path to get there. It is the hardest thing that I've ever worked on categorically in my life. And I find that the people that spend a lot of time in it have the same healthy pessimism about how things work. But if you're an operator, if you work at a carrier, if you work at a reinsurer or broker, and you like talking about ideas that make your head hurt, and if you're a startup that decide you could have picked anything in the world to work on and you want to go solve insurance, you're my type of person. I'd love to help in any way.